The following program is a public service of Gulf Coast State College, WKGC, and Commodore Productions. And now, the Military Hour with Cary Dieter.
Welcome to another edition of Military Hour. Been a little brief hiatus with the holidays, but we have some special guests today, and I'm going to have the ladies introduce themselves other than the gentlemen, because some of you may remember his mug from a previous broadcast. So we'll start with you, my dear. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Talena Grauberg.
And you're with?
I'm with ServPro of Bay County, but today representing Fun in the Sun Mud Run.
Right. So I'm glad we got ServPro in, because they can help out if you're in a fix.
That's right.
And then we have
Lisa Kern with Panama City Toyota.
Lisa Kern. Don't confuse that with a Mel Haggard song. She's with the car dealership, Toyota, and they're probably going places if you haven't heard it before.
We are.
That's all you're getting. So in any event, and you're involved as a team.
As a team,
Correct.
we have been heart and soul into Fun in the Sun Mud Run.
So start out by telling everybody, before we get to explaining the 5K, how did you get involved with dear brother David Chaplain Brogdon?
Well, I met David through, oh my gosh, a different fundraiser that was here in the area. And then my daughter and I ended up going out to visit the Hope Project, and then it was well on from there.
Did you happen to fall in love with any horses?
Well, we fell in love with horses, we fell in love with the mission of it, we fell in love with so much.
Yeah, it's very, very special, the
Yes.
work that he's doing out there. He's not special, but the work is special.
I'm special in a different way.
I love it, brother. And now, tell us about some of the organizations that you are aligned with, other than Brother David, which and the community has really embraced your project.
We're very blessed.
And, and it's a good thing. And it's a necessary thing too.
Well, we're excited about all 5 of the charities we're representing. We're extremely excited about Hope Project, also Simply Self-Esteem, Beach Care Services, and the Panama City Beach Stair Climb, as well as St. Andrews Bay Center, now known as Arc of the Bay.
Now, for the benefit of everybody that watches, and there is a pretty good viewership, would you please give a brief synopsis of each one of those organizations for the folks that don't know? Some will know, some won't know.
Sure.
Good deal.
So Simply Self-Esteem is an organization that helps reach homeless and in need teenagers in our community. So far, their main distribution time is Christmas, and they're given hygiene products. Believe it or not, Bay County is full of teenagers that are not given their own hygiene products. So Simply Self-Esteem was organized by one individual, and she has tried to grow that over the course of the last 6 years. I believe it was last year, possibly 2 years ago, she became a 501c3, and we're trying to help build awareness as well as get her some funds to continue to grow the project. And then the Beach Care Services is an organization, locals helping locals. And so anyone that lives on the beach, if they find themselves in need, they can come to the Beach Care Services and request help for things like rent, transportation, various needs. Then the 9/11 Stair Climb, Panama City Beach's Memorial Stair Climb, they have a local fund that helps any first responder in Bay County if they have a family need that is above and beyond something that you know they just know someone knows within the ranks that they need help. For instance, they've helped families that have a child with an illness, they need transportation, things like that. So they have a local fund for that. And then Arc of the Bay is adults with disabilities. And then, of course, Hope Project, healing our veterans.
Right. Through the equine therapy.
Yes.
Counseling, therapy, groups, and most of the time it's families of first responders and vets who just come out and hang out with the horses and build positive relationships with one another. And so we're very
Share,
blessed.
if you will, David, share with the viewers how this all came to fruition, because you're relatively a young organization, but just mushrooming. So you get, I hate to say this, you get run out of the Army.
Right, I was fired by the Army. Well, after 25 years active, 16 as a chaplain, 3 years in Iraq and Afghanistan, and everything that comes along with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries, and
That's
just
the big
all.
hurts, don't it?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
hurts, don't
The
it?
Army decided I was unfit to be a soldier anymore because I was too broken in many
Done
ways.
with you.
And so they medically retired me,
Yeah.
and had some friends down here that started rescuing horses from kill pens, and we got together and formed the Hope Project. And Hope is an acronym that stands for Healing Our Patriots with Equines.
Yep.
And I went out and became certified to do equine-assisted psychotherapy, which makes me a psychotherapist.
Dude, I was hoping you were going to.
Yes, and I'm certified and certifiable. But basically, our target, and I don't want to use the word target, I guess, with the military, but our focus is primarily on vets who struggle with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries and their families, but also first responders, because for a while I was a hospital chaplain for about 4 years, and first responders are often overlooked when it comes to dealing with issues such as PTSD and all the things that go along living with that kind of a career, where every call you receive is bad news, and you have to live with that every day, or the danger of being a police officer, which now seems to be like the danger of being in Afghanistan or Iraq, where you never know what's going to happen. And so everything we do is free, and you know, because I was a chaplain and all the training with that we received there, we do counseling, whether it's one-on-one, but we can also take you out into an arena or your family and do counseling with the horses. And we have 4 horses that we would put in there with someone, give you a task to do involving the horses. And since horses read your body language, your facial expressions, they know your emotions, they will react and interact with you. And then myself and an equine specialist would ask you questions. And so instead of me being a counselor or a therapist, actually the horses are the counselors, and you actually work out some of your own issues. And it's amazing. I was skeptical at first, but you know, to see how it works is such a blessing. And every month, through one way or another, we've reached easily over 100 vets, first responders, and family members. And you know, that's not all the formal therapy. Many times it's one-on-one or groups or seminars or just any way we can.
I had no idea it had grown to that kind of numbers. That's fantastic.
We're blessed, and we, you know, part of that, you know, it may be doing a seminar for an organization or a church on PTSD and TBI, how to help those who are struggling.
And I know you will go to different organizations and churches, and you'll bring the horses
We
to
can.
events sometimes. But tell me this, and correct me if I'm wrong. My supposition is that, especially with PTSD, is a lot of people, and this is just my thought, probably have a very hard time even admitting that they need the help. Is that correct or not correct?
It's very, very much reality. You know, I remember when I was first diagnosed with PTSD, I had a lot of physical issues, age, and you know, wearing all the gear for all those years and deployments and everything, and even the TBIs. At least that was an injury.
Yeah.
But when they diagnosed me with PTSD, and they said significant PTSD and significant depression, whatever that means, it's like, I already knew I was broke. Now you're telling me I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And just with the whole stigma of having PTSD, and that's why I believe there are twice as many people who struggle than those who've been diagnosed.
Yeah.
And the struggle comes out sometimes with alcohol, drugs, marriage issues, and way
Yep.
too often, you know, the 22 vets a day that commit suicide. And so
Yeah.
if we can make a positive difference and reach out, and that's why, you know, I always say, if you know someone who may be struggling, whether or not they've been diagnosed, they're having issues, and especially if they're a first responder or a vet, and you're concerned about them,
Of course.
you know, let us know. Let them know that we're there, and everything we do is totally confidential and it's totally free, and all we want to do is help.
Right, and that is the ticket. You know, it's veterans helping veterans, and I didn't understand. You were diagnosed, and your diagnosis says significant. Mine says chronic. I mean, to me, it's like you either are or you aren't. But
Well,
why
yeah.
use a different word? I don't know.
You know, I think PTSD is a normal response to trauma.
Yeah.
And
I don't like the
especially,
D, and a lot of us don't.
right, and the only reason I use the D is because most people don't know what PTS would be without the D.
Right.
In fact, it was funny, I've had some people, you know, well, how's it going helping those vets with PSTD? And,
STDs.
yeah, we don't have that. Maybe not. Hopefully the vets don't, but
Yeah.
it's a normal response because if, you know, anyone can get PTSD or
Yeah.
PTS, but when you're a vet and you're in combat, you could have hundreds of traumatic events, and it just, you know, compounds. And so to me, if you could go through all that and come back and not be affected, then you would be crazy.
Yeah,
You know.
you'd be totally.
And so, you know, it's learning to live with what's part of me.
Yeah.
I left Afghanistan, I left Iraq, they never left me. I dealt with
And it won't.
hundreds of child losses as a chaplain in a hospital, and I could probably remember each one if you know the right thing was triggered. That's part of who I am. It doesn't
Sure.
make me crazy.
I
It
get
makes
it.
me normal, and so how do I live my new normal? And that's what we want to do.
Absolutely, that's the thing, the new normal,
Mhm.
because it can't be what it once was,
No,
and it doesn't go away.
no.
You know, when you leave the earth,
Yeah.
yeah. then
God's
it'll go
healing
away.
then will be complete,
Yeah,
but
there you go.
until then,
Yeah.
you know.
And you told me something when you first got here. No, I mean, it really grabbed me when you mentioned the teenagers
Yes.
and the needs. I mean, that literally broke my heart. I mean, my hair's standing up now
Yeah.
to think that teenagers are going through that type thing. I mean, granted, we know first responders do, EMTs, firefighters, police. You know, I get that, but this can even be a factor with teenagers
Absolutely.
that are homeless, and it's like
Right.
it compounds the problem.
And one thing that I've learned is that, you know, homelessness for teenagers, at least here in Bay County, that doesn't mean that they don't lay their head down somewhere at night. They may be couch surfing, but
Right.
they have nothing steady. They don't know who's getting up with them in the morning or how they're getting to school, or, you know, they don't have anyone to guide them, make sure that they've had breakfast, make sure that they have a toothbrush to brush their teeth, and that it's their own. And
That is a
that-
shame. That is just a shame.
So there's lots of work to be done.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the things we want with the awareness, just making sure that people remember that. And with this event, we want to raise money. That's obviously the focus and the end goal, but also as much so to bring awareness so that people realize that these 5 organizations are touching people, not just a bottom line or an organization, that they're touching individual people
Right.
of
And
all
that's what
ages.
matters. Yeah. And you've heard this before, you know, if well, many hands make light work, we know that. But if each one reach one that can help in any capacity that they can,
Yes.
whether it's their hands
That's
physically,
right.
whether it's their pocketbook, you know, with
That's
money, donation, time. I mean, sometimes just being with somebody, spending the time with
That's
them
right.
helps. And
Well, and that's why I say get muddy and make a difference.
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
You know.
I'm hoping I can get out there and dude.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll
I might
get you out there.
pulled through the
One
mud.
way or another, we'll get
Yeah.
you there.
Yeah, that just to me is a fun day. And if I can get my wife to go along, she'd love it. She's like,
Please
yeah,
do.
get him nasty. Get him good. But in any event, and with military brothers and sisters, it's, I don't know how it is, but if I look at David, even though we haven't known each other that long, I can pretty much say, hey, Dave, how you doing? Doing good? And his response will tell me, not that he wants to lie to me, but it would tell me if he really is okay today or
Sure.
not.
That's right.
Right.
And then I go, dude, talk to me. You're not telling me everything. What's going on? And then that just works. How it happens, I don't know, other than being concerned one for another and having that military background.
It's all about compassion. So across all of the boards. So
Well, I understand that. You have been quiet.
I know,
Because
I'm
we've been
waiting.
yakking.
Watch out.
So
Here
let's
it goes.
go. Let's
Okay.
go.
So
Start with that.
Fun in the Sun mud run.
That's
So
it.
we had, I don't know, a plan, not even a plan. We had a dream a long time ago. And I want to say a long time because it took us a while to find a location to do this. And we just kept at it. And eventually out at Harder's Park on 231,
Yeah.
we will have the event. It'll be a 5K muddy obstacle race. We have learned more about dirt and nuts and bolts than we probably dreamed we would before. But it has come together, and now we are T-minus 50 some days, and we will be out there raising as much money as we can.
Good deal. And all that money goes to local charities,
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
you raise.
Yes, everything stays in Bay County.
No paid staff.
No, none at all.
No.
Want to make sure everybody knows.
Yes,
the
Yes,
viewers know
absolutely.
what's going on here.
Yep.
And that was the benefit of us having two amazing businesses to work for that said, you know, go put on an
Toyota
event.
and Serpro.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Said I wasn't
Yeah.
going to say Toyota again. So I'm going to say Serpro.
Right.
Now it's equal. So anyway.
And every bit of the event is going to be built around Cary. So all of the money and everything, and we've had other fundraisers leading up to it that we've been able to give more. So that's our whole goal. But also at the race, at the end of the race, we will have barrels that you can throw your muddy shoes in. We have a restoration company that will restore them, and then they'll go back to the rescue mission, the Salvation Army, the school for, Shoes for Soul program in the schools. So every
Check
bit.
it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
See? Man, it just keeps getting better. You got all these other 5 organizations involved. Now you got some other ones that are going to fix up
Yes.
dirty shoes.
Yes.
I've smelled his shoes accidentally. Yeah, he got some dirty shoes.
You know, one of the things I have been so amazed and so blessed by all those who really care, not only about vets, but, you know, whether it's teenagers or, you know, first responders, Salvation Army. You know, I've been blessed by those who have really, you know, come out and supported the Hope Project and businesses and, you know, getting to know Talena and Lisa better. It's just, to me, it's amazing that the companies would be that supportive and that, you know, proactive to really make a difference in the community. And so it's not about money and it's not about sales or whatever. It's about
No.
people.
That's right.
Right.
And
It
hurting,
is.
there's so many people hurting all around us. And, you know, I want to thank Serpro and Toyota and everyone else who, you know, care enough to do something about it.
Absolutely.
We do. We feel extremely blessed to have, like Lisa said, the business owners that we do, because they trusted, I think would be, I don't even know if they saw our vision, but they trusted it. And they've said, yes, you know, go out and do this and do great, and we'll support you in the ways that we can. And so it has allowed us to, we've been at it full time now for 7 months. And, you know,
That's all.
well, I say full time.
That was after we found the location.
Yes, after we found the location. But you know, so it's all coming together, and it's definitely a team, you know, event. It's a community event, and that's the thing we don't want to lose at all in this, is that it takes the entire community. We're
Sure.
so blessed to live in Bay County. This is one of the most giving communities, and people have really stood behind us and said, you know, I think there's a lot of people that maybe haven't seen our vision, but they've trusted us and our network and things that other things that we've done, and said, hey, how can we help, and what part of that can I do to help? And I think that's the other thing that we would ask for, is that people realize anyone can be involved. We need volunteers the day of. We absolutely need people to come out and run the event, as in be in it, you know, be participants. But we need volunteers. We'd love to still have sponsors. There's something for everyone if they want to be involved in this. Nobody has to say, that sounds neat, but I don't think I would do it. Why not? Come volunteer. We have something for you to do.
And one other part of the event is a muddy tug of war that we'll have that will go on all throughout the day. And we'll do it just as like a tournament where first responders can tug of war against other first responders, and vets against vets, and the Army against the Navy. And so you can build teams, you can go to our website. We're going to do some, that is going to be a huge part of what we're doing out there too.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And I was about to interrupt because how about point of contact information? We might as well give it right now. And I don't know
Sure.
what you're using. I saw a website I don't know if you can do it through there or what. but
We have a
you will.
Facebook page that's Fun in the Sun Mud Run. We have the website, which is funinthesunmudrun.com. Our information, contact information is on there. You can shoot us messages through there as well.
Absolutely.
Good deal. So yeah, get involved. It sounds like it's going to be big fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. I'm ready. I'm going to go.
We're all
I'm
ready.
going to go.
We are. We're ready.
If I'm able, I'm there. There's no doubt about
You're
it.
going to want the 30-foot mudslide.
But I always
Oh.
have a question. I do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
But I always have one question. Is there any food going to be around?
Oh my goodness, there will be
need food.
food. There will be, yes.
Good. Okay, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I always got to know if there's
You-
anything to eat.
You can tell by looking at me, I'm always around the food. So
Yeah, me too.
if there's food there, I'll probably be hanging out, muddy or
Absolutely.
not.
So the website again is funinthesunmudrun.com.
Yes.
Okay. You might want to say it again because I got that going today.
Oh, Fun in the Sun Mud Run. Everything is Fun in the Sun
That's
Mud
right.
Run.
Facebook, web-
Facebook, website.
Okay. So there it's out there. No excuses. If you see them,
right.
we're going to be on YouTube, WOW, and Comcast.
Yes.
So no excuses.
Share
you
it.
can find it.
Share it everywhere
Yep.
and make a team, challenge
right.
others. You could have school against school,
Yes.
coworkers against coworkers.
There's
and-
even a referral program for when you register. So one of our registration sites, which we'd go through active.com or racentry.com, but Racentry, if you register through there, you get $5 for every other person you sign up, so you could basically run for free.
That's
yeah,
right.
there you go.
So there's really no excuses.
Right.
Boy,
Just
I'm
recruit
glad
people.
you brought them. They're fireballs.
I'm working for them on this. Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? Nurses.
I like it.
I'm working on a nurses scholarship
Yeah.
for Gulf Coast.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Program, but it takes a lot of money. Only 20 grand. So I'm a long ways from 20 grand. But I'll get there.
You
Have
will.
last,
With help.
raise your allowance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly, I'll do that. Well, I'm excited and thrilled, and I'm glad you came out.
Well, thank you
Sorry,
for
I
having
just
us.
Try and
Thanks for
talk to
having
him.
us.
But again, I apologize about this. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Today's a not.
No,
So-
we just appreciate having the chance to talk about it.
Yes.
So
Thanks
thank
again.
you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.
Careful with that turquoise. Till next time, Military Hour. Got something to talk about? Hit us up, let us know. We'd be happy to have you on. Later.